What's up, everyone? I'm Denise Salcedo. Welcome back to the channel. My guest for today has the new record for the fastest victory with 3.17 seconds in WWE history. Ladies and gentlemen, ALIYAH. Hey, ALIYAH.
Hey, thank you. Whoa, what an introduction.
When I was kind of like thinking about this, I was like, oh my God, how exciting must it be for her to, now have an official record with the company. I got to ask you, how does that feel?
It feels amazing. It feels amazing. It feels good to just know, hard work pays off.
It does. It really does. And I think if anybody knows about hard work paying off, I think it's definitely you, ALIYAH, because I think we got to kind of, talk about your journey because you signed on with WWE, back in 2015. And it wasn't until 2021, during the draft, that you officially got drafted. And, hey, you're moving up, you're going on to the main roster, Friday night Smackdown. So there was a good, chunk of time there where you were kind of, waiting for your moment to officially make it to the main roster. So kind of for you to get up into this point, and this is a broad question, I got to ask you, what was it like? What was your experience throughout this year trying to make it to the point where you are now?
Oh boy. So I just remember training in NXT, and by the way, I've had an amazing time at the Performance Center. I still train there twice a week, and I've been training there for the last 7 years. And I've had such a great experience there. And, every year I pray and hope, maybe I'll be in the Rumble this year, or maybe I'll do this, or maybe, you know what I mean? Just little things, maybe I'll get called up. And, just for it to finally happen, I'm just so blessed, so grateful, so thankful. And, the journey doesn't stop, the hard work doesn't stop. I'm going to continue to keep grinding, keep working, keep training. Like I said, I'm still training at the Performance Center twice a week, so that's never going to stop with me. I'm a thoroughbred.
I love that. So what would you say was like your biggest obstacle or, thing that you had to overcome or really develop within yourself to, get from point A to point B?
Oh man. Okay. That's a good question. So I signed my contract at 19 years old, and I'm going to say that from the point that I am at now to looking back to, that 19-year-old girl that signed that contract, I'm just so proud of myself because within all that time, I learned so much about myself. And for that, I am so grateful. I've had throughout the years amazing coaches and amazing, influential people around me to help guide me. And I'm just so forever grateful and so blessed for that.
I think if you had the opportunity to go back and tell yourself, your 19-year-old version, something about, what you know now, what would you tell your 19-year-old self?
Oh man. Don't be so hard on yourself. I think just don't be so hard on yourself. When you're new to the industry and stuff, it's very easy, of course you're gonna have compliments and stuff, but also you're gonna, you might get a little critiqued, or you might get a little, little haters, but you eventually you learn to block that out and only not to focus on the negatives and stay positive. So I would definitely tell myself, just don't be so hard on yourself. But at the same time, if I wasn't so hard on myself, I don't think I'd be where I'm at today.
Finding the balance, that's very important.
Yes.
You're like, don't torture yourself either. Give yourself a little bit of leeway, but also put just a little bit of pressure so that you can, continue to develop.
Exactly.
So I do want to ask you also because, obviously, spending all the time that you spent in NXT, I do want to know, you saw a lot of people get moved up, go to the main roster. And then you saw a lot of people that, hey, their time in WWE just didn't work out. When you're seeing people go and, find their places a lot faster, for you, what keeps you motivated to say, you know what, don't worry, my moment is coming, my break is coming, etc. What keeps the drive alive?
I just think I'm a very passionate person. I have a lot of different passions. I have a lot of, lots of fuel, to my fire. And I think just knowing myself and just, just having that in the back of my mind, like I love myself and I'm going to take care of myself. I think that's where all that comes from.
I love that. I love that you say, like, I love myself and this is going to, move forward. I think that's such a nice thing to say because, we've all been there where we're trying to get again from that, from the starting point to like, hey, this is the vision that we have of ourselves and this is where we want to get to. And I think that's very, very important to, sort of talk about and bring out into the open. So with that being said, you finally get this opportunity to come into SmackDown. I want to ask you, what was the process in terms of getting you signed on board for the main roster? I kind of want to know, everything that kind of went down beforehand until you finally get the, hey, you're going to the main roster.
Okay. So I had no idea. Like I was clueless to say the least. I was in a program with Robert Stone. We were, he was my manager, and one day I came to TV, or I found out the day before TV. This is what's happening, what you're going to be doing, and I just remember my drive that morning to the performance center to shoot. I was just in tears. Like I could not stop crying because I couldn't fathom that was the last drive I was going to make there. Little did I know now, I'm still training there. So I'm still going,
Yeah.
but back then I was just like, I remember the whole drive, I was just bawling. So I go there, we do the thing. And then I think it was like the next week or 2 weeks after that, I was booked on doing dark matches. And then, so I did the dark match 1 week, and then the next week I got invited back, and then I just kept getting invited back, dark matches. And then eventually, the contract was offered and it was there, and yeah, haven't looked back since.
What was the feedback that you got during those dark matches? Did you get any sort of like, hey, like this is why you're being invited back, etc.?
Yeah, they would give us there's when it comes to critiques and feedback, there's like a whole array. There's a whole everything from character to what you're doing to, you know what I mean? So it's very
It's a
different
breakdown.
categories. Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
got a little advice on each, category. And yeah, I took that, and I think about it, and I'd move forward, and I would train hard with that in mind. And yeah.
So now, you're on the main roster. You've gotten some pretty cool opportunities. Obviously, one of which we mentioned right off the bat, you essentially getting the new record for the fastest victory against Natalia. So that was pretty cool to obviously, have underneath your belt so early on in your main roster career. But I do kind of want to get, your perspective of like, what's the biggest difference from, where you were at before on NXT to now being on the main roster? Like, what would you say is the biggest change in your life now being part of the SmackDown brand?
Oh man. The biggest change. Now I'm just traveling more.
That's fun.
I still feel like I'm the same ALIYAH. I still feel, like I'm the same ALIYAH that wants to get in there and do everything and just have fun. So that never, I don't think that'll ever change. But yeah, I think just the travel, it's a lot different.
And it's very exciting too, because obviously that's the one thing that I think attracts you to the job in the first place. One of the things that attracts you to the job is like, hey, you got to go and travel all over the world and perform in front of all these audiences. And speaking of performing in front of all of these audiences, January 29th, the Royal Rumble, I got to ask you, not only are you in there with like the very best, but we're also going to be seeing legends such as Mickie James, who I know you're a big fan of, Lita. I got to ask, how does it feel knowing that you're heading into the Royal Rumble and also, getting to be in there with all of these people?
Oh my goodness, it feels incredible because growing up, like I used to watch Alita, I used to watch Mickie James, I used to watch the Bellas, you know what I mean? So it's so cool. And then on one hand, I get to see all these legends And then on the other hand, I look to my right and I'll see like Liv Morgan, who's been my best friend forever. So it's just, I'm just so excited. It's going to be a great time, and I'm ready to go in there and kick ass, and I'm, win, it's, it's going to be a crazy, amazing dynamic. My favorite part about the Rumble is just not knowing who's going to come out next. You know what I mean? And so there's still a bunch of people that hasn't even been announced, so just the surprise within that, I am so excited for it. That's always been my favorite part.
Oh yeah, for sure. I totally get it. So, now we're in 2022, brand new year. I want to ask you, what are some of your goals within WWE?
Oh my goodness. Well, we're heading to Saudi for Elimination Chamber, and I don't know what's, I don't know, no matches really have been announced and all that. So it would be an honor to be the first ever Arab female superstar to perform in the Middle East, and that's always been a huge goal of mine. Yeah.
That is so awesome. That's so cool. All right. So before we move on, I know we got a couple minutes left. So I'm going to go ahead and sneak in this lightning round game. So essentially, I'm going to ask you 10 super random questions about yourself, and just to kind of get to know you just a little bit more, and you answer them however you please. So I'll try to get in as much as we can. So here we go. Question number 1, where did you go on your very first date?
Very first date. Where did I go? Oh my God. Mandarin. There's this it's a really good restaurant. It's all you can eat buffet in Toronto called Mandarin.
Awesome. Question number 2. Who or what inspired your wrestling persona, style, gear, etc.?
Ooh, I would have to say Trish Stratus, Mickey James, what else? I would say a little bit of Dolly Parton. I know she's not a wrestler, but
yeah. No, oh no, that's okay. You get inspiration from like anywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah, exactly. Earlier on, when I started getting newer gear, when I saw the first season of Euphoria, which came out like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago,
yeah,
I was obsessed with that show, and so I kind of like pulled. There's this one character in there named Maddie, and I kind of like pulled a bunch of things from her.
I love it. I saw the show, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Question number 3, what's the app you're most addicted to?
The app I'm most addicted to. Oh, you know what? I'm a weirdo. I'm rarely on my phone, but if I guess TikTok's
Yeah.
the place. Yeah. If I want to kill time, I'll go on TikTok.
I love that. Question number 4, what does a day in the life of ALIYAH look like?
I wake up, I come to my barn, which I'm at right now. I ride my horse Larry. I go home, I eat, I shower, I go to the performance center, I train in the ring, I go home again, I eat, and then I go to the gym, and then I weightlift, and then I go home and eat again. And then it depends if I have plans with friends later on, I'll probably do that like in the evening. If not, I'll hang out with my dogs, and yeah, that's my life. I love
so
training,
cute.
I love working out. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Like the second I saw your horses, I was like, oh my God, she is so lucky. Question number 5, what are your top 3 favorite movies?
Okay. I can't think. Okay, The Mask with Jim Carrey. That was always my favorite ever since I was a little kid. I gotta name 2 more. Crap. Ooh, why am I blanking?
Or you can name one. It's up to you. Like whatever you feel.
The Mask. We'll go with The Mask. Yeah.
Okay. No worries. And I'm going to go ahead and ask you one more, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. So I do want to ask you your last question. Is there a secret talent that you have?
I mean, it's no secret that I ride horses and I'm awesome at it.
That's a good quality. That's definitely a good one.
Talent. You ready?
What is it? Oh my God. Okay, that is phenomenal. Love that. That is so cool. ALIYAH, thank you so much for chatting with me today. Congratulations on, all your new success and heading into the Royal Rumble. It was really fun to get to know you just a little bit more. Before we go, please feel free to plug in anything you'd like to plug in.
Follow me on Instagram, Twitter. It's ALIYAH WWE, and watch me January 29th, Royal Rumble, and I'm ready to kick some ass.
Awesome. Thank you so much, ALIYAH. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more. Until next time, I'm Denise Salcedo. This is ALIYAH. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.